Amber Heard and Johnny Depp have had one of the craziest relationships ever. The fact that their cases against each other have lasted longer than their 15-month marriage is enough to explain how messed up their time together must have been. Even though the whole ordeal seemed like a lost cause, where everybody was going around in circles, now new details have emerged. In this video, we're going to be getting you up to speed on everything that's going on. But for that, we have to dial it back to how we got here, how it all began. Depp and Amber first met each other on the set of The Rum Diary way back in 2009. After dating for more than 6 years, the two finally tied the knot in 2015. However, everything fell apart in just the first year of their marriage. It all started in 2016. Heard accused Depp of domestic abuse and claimed he bruised her face after throwing a smartphone at her face. She submitted pictures of her apparently bruised face as evidence. The judge gave her a temporary restraining order where Depp would have to stay 100 yards away from her, but he never actually got charged with anything. Right before this, the two filed for divorce and released a statement saying, "Our relationship was intensely passionate and at times volatile, but always bound by love." Even after getting a divorce, the two still bickered publicly about their relationship. Depp's divorce attorney, Wasser, said all of Heard's claims are not only false, but her way of getting money out of Depp. The lawyer said her request for a restraining order, along with the financial requests, are all revenge for the negative attention she got after she divorced Depp. The police investigated the domestic violence incident Heard claimed and saw no evidence of the crime whatsoever. Later, Depp's daughter Lily Rose defended her father, saying he's the sweetest person she knows. Even Depp's ex defended him, saying he was a loving person. Why didn't she just tell the police? On May 21st, when the alleged abuse took place, Heard never actually reported the abuse to the police, who picked up her 911 call. According to Heard's lawyer, it was because she wanted to protect her privacy and Johnny's career. Her attorneys also say Depp's team has been suing her silence against her. They say it's been Heard's interest from the very beginning to keep this whole debacle private, to the point that she didn't even report it. They allegedly sent a letter to Depp's counsel team the next day, making it clear that they want this out of the media. They also didn't request a domestic violence restraining order because Depp was out of the country. Later, they said if the truth is ever revealed, there is no doubt that Amber's claims will be substantiated beyond any doubt, and hopefully Johnny will get the help that he so desperately needs. Amber Heard's op-ed. By 2018, Heard wrote an opinion piece for the Washington Post where she spoke up against sexual violence and said she became a public figure for representing domestic abuse in 2016. In the op-ed, she talked about her own experiences with abuse, which began at a young age. She also accused institutions of protecting men and said it was the reason why she lost some of her roles and got dropped by the global fashion brand she was the face of. She also allegedly had to change her phone number almost weekly because she kept getting death threats and didn't leave her apartment because there were always drones or paparazzi outside. Even though Heard never mentioned Depp's name anywhere in this, it was pretty obvious she was talking about him. Because of this, Depp's reputation was completely tarnished and even lost some of his most important roles, like Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. Just 4 days after this op-ed came out, Depp files a defamation lawsuit. In March of 2019, Depp filed a $50 million defamation lawsuit against Heard, claiming that she was the perpetrator, not the victim. They said she was just trying to victimize herself and clear her name. The filing describes the couple's horrible marriage, and it also mentioned that Heard was spending a lot of time with Elon Musk, while Depp was out of the country filming a movie. Allegedly, she asked the staff at her apartment building to let Elon access the parking of the building and penthouse elevator late at night. It also mentioned that Heard threw a vodka bottle at Depp when they were in Australia after she found out Depp wanted the couple to get a prenup that would keep their assets out of the equation if they were ever to get divorced. Postnup. Wanted the couple to get a postnup. The bottle broke on Depp's hand and severed the tip of his middle finger on his right hand. Depp says after this he had a nervous breakdown and started writing suicidal thoughts on the mirrors using his severed finger. Heard denied injuring his finger and said he injured it when he was pulling the phone off the wall. Heard's attorney said Heard was in a state of shock, with Depp holding his severed finger in their house, saying, "Look what you made me do." But Depp says this whole whole story is incorrect. The lawsuit ended up getting delayed multiple times because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Depp loses UK libel case. The Sun newspaper described Depp as a wife beater in their 2018 story about his marriage with Amber Heard. So, he decided to file a libel case against them, but he lost the case after the judge said the Sun's article was substantially true. After this, the spokesperson for the Sun has complimented Heard for her courage in giving evidence to the court. Heard's team says the court's rulings will help them fight against the $50 million defamation lawsuit which had gotten delayed at the time. Depp's team, on the other hand, described the court's ruling as perverse as it is bewildering and said they'd appeal the decision. They said they found it troubling how the judge was relying on Amber Heard's statement despite there being no evidence for her claims whatsoever. They said the judgment was extremely flawed and biased against Depp. The people coming forward. Depp's $50 million defamation lawsuit against Heard is finally continuing after years of postponement. In this hearing, we got to hear about Heard's former personal assistant, Depp's addiction specialist, and the couple's marriage counselor had to say about their claims. Dr. Laurel Anderson, the marriage counselor. Dr. Laurel Anderson, employed by the couple, said both of them were mutually abusive towards each other. On one hand, she had seen Heard initiate incidents to stop Depp from leaving her because of Heard's fear of abandonment, and she had also seen pictures of Heard with bruises. She said if Heard ever felt disrespected, she would initiate fights with Depp to keep him there. Kate James, Amber's former personal assistant. Kate James, Amber's former personal assistant, said when she asked for a salary raise, Heard spit on her face. She also claimed that Heard was taking prescription stimulant drugs and was almost always intoxicated. James said Heard would often have manic episodes where she would become abusive and wouldn't make any sense. She claimed Heard would scream on the phone and send over abusive text messages all the time. She said, all incoherent. It was just someone to lash out at. James also testified, saying that she and Heard had talked about her taking cocaine, ecstasy, mushrooms, and other illegal drugs. On May 21st, when the alleged abuse took place, James received an emergency call to immediately meet her boss at the Chateau Marmont Hotel. When she got there, she found Heard with a few of her friends. According to her, they spent all day drinking by the pool, and it almost seemed like a strategy meeting. James herself seemed to have no issue with Depp and said he was a peaceful, calm, shy, and almost quiet. He's such a gentleman, a total Southern gentleman. James also claims that Heard had appropriated her experience of getting sexual assaulted at Machete Point in Brazil. She said Heard used her traumatic experience and twisted it into her own story for her own use. James's testimony has helped Depp's legal team a lot and is helping them prove that Heard is in the wrong. Dr. David Kipper, Depp's addiction specialist, testified that he was going to detox Depp many years ago from his dependence on alcohol and drugs. According to Kipper, Depp was concerned that he'd never feel normal using drugs. In 2014, Kipper visited Depp in the Bahamas to start the detoxification process. Depp reported that he felt extremely uncomfortable during the whole thing and even tried to fire his doctor multiple times. Kipper said he didn't want to proceed. Later in Los Angeles, Kipper's nurse found out that Depp was drinking and had even hit a wall out of frustration. He also kicked a trailer door on a movie set. Kipper also flew to Australia to tend to the actor after he severed his finger. He said the whole house was a mess with everyone's blood and things were thrown around. A few months later, Depp texted Kipper and said he was taking Xanax because of Heard's behavior. That's a wrap for today's video. Who do you think is right or wrong? Make sure to let us know in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button for more videos like this one. We'll see you next time.